What's up? I'm Shanice and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my planning tips for my trip to Denver. Okay, so let me preface this by saying I am not a traveler. I wasn't really a traveler before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and probably not after the pandemic. So I'm just going to say it. These are not professional tips. These are tips from a type A person, an overthinker, a planner. This is where that's coming from. So let me just walk you through how I planned for my birthday trip. First things first is define the trip, okay? What is the reason for the trip? Are you going for work? Are you going to relax? Are you going to explore new places? Figure that out and we'll go from there. So for us, it was exploring. We had never been out west and I really wanted to just walk around and explore and see what Colorado had to offer. So once you've come up with the reason or the meaning of the trip, then you can come up with a spending plan. So if you are going to relax, know that you're going to be spending some money on a spa one day or shopping, or if you're going to explore, know that you're going to be spending money on touring tickets. If you're going to be working, know that you're going to be spending money on Wi-Fi connections, or I don't work, so we started in January of getting an idea of how much plane tickets would be, the hotel would be, what kind of activities we would be doing. And then we kind of came up with the spending plan back then and then started to break it down by month and then by week. And we just kind of started saving up weekly. Next, what you'll want to do is figure out your means of transportation. So are you going to fly there? Are you going to drive there? Are you going to take a train there? Are you going to take a boat there? Like, is it a cruise type of trip? And you also want to plan the transportation while you're there. So do you want to find Ubers? Do you want to walk places? Do you want to catch the bus or the taxi? Like, you got to figure out your transportation there and while you're there, and then incorporate that into your spending plan. Something else that we did was we made a list of all the things that we wanted to see and do, and then all of the foods that we wanted to eat, and we just wrote them all down. And then I would go back and I would organize it all out. Once we figured out what it was that we wanted to do, I tried to see what could be done in one day. We spent the day in like downtown Denver because there were certain things that we wanted to do in that area, and it didn't make sense to go like back and forth throughout the couple of days that we were going to be there. So I just planned for everything to be done that day. Or like the day in Boulder, I planned for us to go hiking and eat and shop and do little things in Boulder because it didn't make sense, once again, to go back and forth during the couple of days that we were there. Something else you want to consider is the time and days that these places are open. There was a tour that I had seen that was only open like 4 days a week. A breakfast spot was open much later than we had expected. Just taking account into the hours that will work for you, the days that are gonna work for you, the locations that are gonna work for you. Make sure that you research that prior to you going. It might help save you time and money. I really wanted to go to the Denver Art Museum and they offered penny Saturdays. If I had not looked into that beforehand, we would have been paying $20 rather than free. Because when I went to buy it online, it probably costs more to process than the actual penny day. So I got it for free. Something else that I did when I was planning our trip was I planned out the days, not like this is what we're doing at this time and so forth. It's like this place is only open on Fridays. So this is the only day that we can go. And then, okay, so since we're here, we'll just do all of this on that day. So while we're planning activities and whatnot, you want to keep a balance. I felt like I planned a lot of things during the day so that we can kind of chill and do our own thing at night. That did kind of mess us up because we learned that Denver is not like a late city. It's not. It's a chill city, but it's not a late city. And a lot of their restaurants and lounges close fairly early. So it kind of worked out that I didn't plan anything, but at the same time, I could have called in for a reservation for appetizers or drinks at certain places because we didn't know, but it seems like everyone else did. Everyone else knew to go at a certain time and have their fun, and we didn't. But it still all worked out because we did things on our own time, and we listened to our bodies when we were hungry, when we weren't hungry. It was cool because we still got to enjoy the city without all the hustle and bustle, so it was cool. Another thing you might want to consider is calling your bank to let them know that you're going out of state. When we went to South Carolina a couple months ago, we were unable to use our card certain places because there was like a hold and it said that we had to clarify through the bank. Do this if you are going out of the country for sure. Call your bank, let them know where you are. But I mean, I guess you can take a hit or miss with this one. We literally just forgot to do it before we went to Colorado. Luckily, everything worked out just fine. But it would be a good idea to give your bank a heads up so that there is no hold or alerts on your card while you're on vacation. Another thing that I did before we left was I checked the weather before we left, so that way I knew what I needed to pack. So whenever you do plan out your trip, you get a better idea of what you need to bring and what should probably stay home. Editing Shanice here. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to elaborate on some examples of what you could bring or what you could keep at home. For me, I knew that I was going out to like a fancy dinner, but I didn't want to bring heels, so I just found a way to dress up my combat boots. Another thing, I thought it was going to be a lot colder than it was. I double checked the weather, found out it was going to be warmer, and brought lighter clothes. Or it could be the opposite. Say you notice that it's going to rain. Make sure you bring an umbrella and make sure you bring water-resistant clothes instead of like a cotton jacket or sweater. You know what I mean? Just little things here and there that just would make a difference in your stay. Okay, so that's it. Those are some of the tips from a non-expert traveler, very amateur traveler, but I feel like for the most part, my trip went pretty well and we had so much fun. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.